I'm someone who's been into VR. I've really enjoyed it. I bought a PSVR the day it came out. I remember actually going to an event that Sony had where you could try it out. You waited in line. I remember waiting almost an hour, but you got to sit down. They sat you down, harnessed you up, strapped on the damn PSVR unit, and you got to play for a little while. And I was sold. I'd never played VR before. And this was amazing stuff. I was like, this is the future of gaming. This is crazy, right? So I put my money down. I got one the day it came out, and I really enjoyed it. Now, I didn't play it all the time, and I do feel they didn't do as much with it as they should have as far as games that were created solely for it. But what I played for it, I did enjoy. So moving into the future, like when the Quest was announced, I bought an Oculus Quest, and I really enjoyed that. When the Quest 2 came out, I bought one of those. I enjoyed that. Didn't buy the Pro version. It's like $1,500. I think I seen it on sale recently for like $1,000, but still way too expensive. And that model's not geared toward gaming. So I was like, nope, I ain't getting that one. But when Sony announced the PSVR 2, I was like, okay, I might have to give this a chance. I have a PS5. It's for the PS5. This could be interesting, right? And I thought it was going to be more expensive than what they actually are selling it for. I'm not saying this isn't expensive. That is pricey, man. $550 or $600 if you get the Horizon Call the Mountain bundle. It's pricey. It's still cheaper than what I thought it was going to be. But I think at the time, I was like, you know what? I may hold off until they announce more games for it because they didn't have a ton of stuff shown yet. And I just wasn't completely sold. It's something I was interested in. But as time went on, they announced, maybe a few things, came out like Call of the Mountain and whatnot, where they showcased that. They had where you could put in for an invitation to pre-order a PSVR 2. So I applied for that, put my name in the hat to get an invitation. And I remember the day the invitation came through and I clicked on it and I had this damn thing in my cart. I really hesitated. I went back and forth fighting myself. Do I drop the money? Do I buy it now? Do I wait? Let me, look into this more type of thing. And ultimately, I decided against it. And partially because of the price. I didn't want to just cough up all that money, on something that's not proven yet. Like I said, I needed to see more games. And I know this thing's like way more advanced than the first one. It's got a lot of interesting technology behind it. And it does look intriguing. But at that time, I was like, maybe I'll wait. But then, looking into it further, one of the biggest reasons that made me hold off was learning that it's not backwards compatible with PSVR, the first one, PSVR 1 games. That really made me say, you know what, I'm going to have to wait possibly for a sale price, maybe. I don't know. But that was one of the biggest reasons that I held off. I did not put my pre-order in. And as you could see, there's no invitations now. You just jump in and pre-order it. So their pre-orders haven't been doing as well as they hoped, it seemed. And we now have this article from Bloomberg that's kind of shedding some light on that. That they're saying that Sony slashed the production in half. They were initially going to have a couple million units. Now they're only going to have 1 million. And they're saying the high price is seen as a limiting factor for wider adoption. While I only think that's partially true, I think, another part of it is like what I said. It's not backwards compatible. That is a huge thing for me. I could take my PS5 and play all my PS4 games on it, no problem. But if I want to play my PSVR games, I have to have the first PSVR with the PS5 adapter and play it that way. Okay, but man, I don't want to have to be switching back and forth if there's a game I want to play. It just, to me, it's like, why couldn't you make it work? Is it something where the technology is so different, just the way everything works? These games just cannot be adapted to it easily? Is it going to be a thing where if something is made to work with the PSVR 2, it's going to have to be like a whole new version of the game that the developer's actually going to have to put in work, and then the game's going to be resold to you? Or are some companies going to just do, updates to them? That's not even anything that I've heard yet. It's just kind of speculation because it's just like, yeah, it's not backwards compatible. So, screw you, right? I mean, there's some awesome games for the VR1. One of the biggest ones that I like playing was Farpoint. That one was amazing with the aim gun or whatever. That was a cool game. But let's quickly look through this real quick. So it says that they have its forecast for shipments, which is set to come out February 22nd. That's right around the corner. Less than a month. I didn't even realize how soon that was. Holy crap. Less than a month away this thing is being released. The other big thing, I think maybe some people, like pre-orders aren't crazy right now, is, okay, you got that price, you got the backwards compatibility issue, but because it's only available to be pre-ordered through Sony Direct, you can't go to Best Buy pre-order, you can't go to GameStop, put your money down, Amazon, Target, Walmart, any random store. You cannot pre-order it anywhere but Sony. So there's not as many eyes out there. What if you're somebody who's interested in this stuff or would be interested, but you don't see advertising for it? Like, I don't see advertising for it. It's just because what I do, and I keep tabs on the news out there, that I was even aware of the PSVR 2. Otherwise, if I wasn't on Twitter, if I wasn't on, news sites looking at stuff, I wouldn't know. So I haven't seen commercials on TV for it. Yeah, I'm not saying there isn't, but I haven't seen any. So, if other companies were advertising, like Best Buy, pre-order now, GameStop, pre-order now, they would have more pre-orders, damn it. They would have more pre-orders for sure. Maybe not a crazy number. Maybe they would still have to, cut it a bit, but they would have more pre-orders. So, yeah, it says that they aim to have 2 million units for launch quarter, and now that they plan to ship around 1.5 million units between this April and March next year, and that may be adjusted in response to demand. For the demand to increase, I think they need to be putting out more interesting games that are going to intrigue people, because I like VR, but I have to be realistic with it. I'm not a VR fanatic. There's people out there that they live that life. I don't live that life. I play VR occasionally and I enjoy it. But for everything that I've played, and I've played a lot of VR, it's hard to say, like, this game sells VR. And I wouldn't think, even if there was one game that sold VR, like, is that really worth the investment to jump in? Like, a VR2, PSVR 2 is $550 to $600, plus you already have to have a $400 to $500 PlayStation 5. Now, PC VR headsets, can range and price as well. It can be pretty pricey. The Oculus Quest isn't like crazy expensive, but you're at what, $300 to $400 right now for the Quest 2. A little better pill to swallow, but with all that stuff I've played, there's nothing that I'm just like, man, I can't name like a handful of games that, like, okay, it's worth it because of these games. Like, I've had a lot of fun with VR games, but there's just nothing that's crazy immersive to me right now that really tackles VR and makes it like, this is gaming now. I just don't think we're there yet. And they kind of talk about that a bit here, I think, how it's just not being adopted as crazily so, and how the first PSVR didn't even secure a 1% share of VR out there, and how MetaQuest, the Quest range is dominating, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's just kind of weird to think about all this stuff. Maybe we're just not at that point where people really give a crap at this time. Maybe not enough people have even gotten a PS5, or they had to wait so long to get one. They're like, yeah, I just paid $500 for a PS5 and I couldn't get it 2 years ago. I could only get it now, and it's still, kind of hard to find them occasionally. I'm not dipping into that yet. I think a lot of people are just waiting. They're going to wait and see what happens, type of thing. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. I like VR, and this was something I was kind of interested in, and I saw this brought up and was like, yeah, I could see them. Pre-orders just aren't doing very well. Appreciate you guys. Bye.